Listen closely for a moment, because what I'm about to tell you is not the kind of message you hear on an ordinary day. Something around you has been shifting in a way you can't quite explain, and you've been sensing it without knowing why. The day, Sirlik, November, you're hearing this, right now is not a mistake, it's a turning point. This message didn't appear in front of you by accident. It showed up because something good, something surprising, something completely unexpected is already moving towards you, far faster than you realize. And here's the part most people aren't prepared for. One of these good things reaches you within hours of receiving this message. If you feel a chill in your body, or a sudden pull in your mind, or a strange pressure around your chest, or even a random thought that appears out of nowhere, that's not random. That's a signal. It's an indication that you are one of the people meant to hear this at exactly the right moment. But stay alert, because hidden inside this message is a single sentence that only the spiritually awake will catch. If you hear it, comment, "I heard it." The moment you acknowledge it, something in your energy unlocks. Because what you're about to hear isn't just motivational talk. This message has the power to shift the direction your life takes next. Jumjur, now pay close attention, because this is where your first wave of good news begins. From now until November Sirlik, something in your life that has felt stalled or frozen is going to open up. There is something you've been waiting for. Maybe a reply, maybe an answer. Maybe an opportunity, maybe a conversation, maybe a door you assumed was permanently closed. What you don't know is that this closed door has never actually been still. It's been shaking, trembling, preparing to open. Your quiet season was never punishment, it was alignment. The delays you experienced weren't dead ends, they were corrections. The long pauses in your life weren't signs of failure, they were signs of protection. Something behind the scenes has been shifting around. People moving out, people moving in, timing rearranging, energy clearing, everything adjusting itself for one sudden moment when the block breaks. And when it breaks, it won't break slowly. It will happen in a single instant. One call, one yes, one text, one sudden opportunity, one shift that causes everything else to move at once. The strange thing is that the breakthrough usually arrives right after the moment you feel like nothing is happening. That empty space, that tired feeling, that quiet moment where you think the universe has forgotten about you. That is actually the last calm before everything starts moving again. Belangio. Some of you are sitting in that calm right now. You've been feeling disconnected from yourself, unmotivated, tired of waiting, maybe even frustrated for no clear reason. Not because your life is falling apart, but because it's rearranging itself for what comes next. Picture a slingshot. The farther it gets pulled back, the faster it shoots forward. Your life has been in that pullback stage, but that stage is ending. Your forward movement is beginning. Your energy is shifting. Your timing is correcting itself. And the very thing you thought was working against you has actually been preparing the way for what's coming. But the universe needs you to be aware of what's happening. When you feel that stillness, when life goes quiet, when everything seems paused, stop and tell yourself, this is the moment before everything opens. That awareness alone creates space for the breakthrough to land. Because real breakthroughs don't arrive in chaos. They arrive when you've stopped forcing, stopped pushing, stopped panicking, and are finally ready to receive. Bent, you're not behind, you're not late, you're not forgotten. You're syncing with something bigger than you realize. And between now and November Sirlik, something is going to shift in a way that makes you stop and say, wait, how did that happen so fast? A yes will replace an old no. A new opportunity will appear where a door once shut. Something you assumed was gone will return in a far better form. And here's something important. You'll know your breakthrough is coming when you suddenly feel calm. Not excited, not nervous, just a steady peace you can't explain. It's like your spirit senses what your mind doesn't know yet. When that moment of calm shows up, don't ignore it. That calm is your confirmation. That calm is your sign. That calm is the shift from waiting to receiving. And when you feel it, claim it. Leave a comment saying, "The door is opening." Say it until it feels real, because the moment you claim it, the energy around you begins to respond. Your first good news is already moving toward you. The silent block is breaking. The door is opening. Your timeline is being rewritten. But this is only the beginning. Let's go deeper. Your second good news is something that has already been happening around you, even if you didn't recognize it. Over the next few days leading up to November, you will notice moments where you are being protected in ways that make absolutely no logical sense. Something that should have gone wrong will somehow go right. Someone who would have stressed you will unexpectedly distance themselves. Plans that would have drained you will fall through without explanation. You may avoid a situation for no reason, and later realize that stepping back saved you from something harmful. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is protection you cannot see but can feel. Something is stepping in between you and what is not meant for you. People, situations, intentions, negativity, everything that isn't aligned is being quietly redirected away from your path. Bond. The strange thing is that protection often looks like nothing happening. The argument that never exploded. The opportunity that didn't take off because it wasn't right for you. The delay that slowed you down just enough to miss something damaging. The silence that prevented a storm. These moments are not losses, they are shields. And this protection is not random, it's deliberate, precise, and tailored for you. The universe always clears the path before something bigger arrives. Before a blessing comes in, protection activates. Something had to be removed, someone had to be distanced, some energy had to be cleared. You aren't being blocked. You're being rerouted to something better. Bend over the next few days. You may feel sudden urges to pull away from certain people or situations. Follow those instincts. They are warnings disguised as intuition. You may feel moments where you think, something just kept me safe. That is your sign. When you notice these moments, acknowledge them. Recognition strengthens protection. So when you feel it, comment this 3 times to anchor the energy. I claim this, I claim this, I claim this. The more you claim protection, the more aligned you become. And when you're aligned, nothing can stand in your way. Your second good news is already in motion. You are protected in ways seen and unseen. You are being guided. You are being guarded. And you are being prepared for the next chapter. There are moments in life when you convince yourself that something is completely over, something you tucked away in your heart, something you told yourself to stop thinking about. Maybe it was a person, a dream, a chance, or a path you once cared about deeply but were forced to release. Maybe it slipped out of your life quietly or disappeared so suddenly that you never got the closure you hoped for. Over time, you trained yourself to say, "It's done. It wasn't meant for me. It's too late now." But the truth is, that chapter was never fully closed. Something you accepted as lost is slowly making its way back into your life. Not in a small or uncertain way, but in a way that feels purposeful, surprising, and perfectly timed. The universe never brings something back unchanged. It returns only when you have grown, when the situation has evolved, and when the timing finally matches who you are becoming. The return isn't a repeat of the old story. It's the beginning of a better version of it. Sometimes life removes something not to punish you, but to rebuild it, repair it, or prepare it so it can return when you are strong enough to hold it. When life circles back like this, I call it a cosmic rebound, a moment when your timeline curves back toward a path you thought you had walked away from forever. It's a destiny reset, where something that once ended quietly begins to rise again. And before it shows up in your physical world, it shows up as energy. That's why some of you are remembering old memories out of nowhere, thinking about someone unexpectedly, hearing songs that bring a certain person or moment back to mind, dreaming of places or situations you thought you had forgotten, or running into signs and symbols you can't explain. That isn't nostalgia or overthinking. Those are early signals that something is returning. Energetic previews always come before physical changes. You feel the shift before you witness it. You sense the connection before it appears at your front door. And when the universe brings something back, it never returns the outdated version. It sends back the healed version, the refined version, the aligned version, the version that finally works. And this return doesn't need to be chased. It's not something you need to force or beg for. It comes to you because the timing is finally right, because your growth meets someone else's growth, because both sides of the story are ready in a way they weren't before. Some of you may already feel the pull. You might suddenly think about someone you haven't spoken to in years, or feel your heart shift towards something you thought you outgrew. That quiet inner tug is the universe preparing the moment. And when it happens, it won't be subtle. It may come through an unexpected message, a chance encounter, an apology you never thought you'd hear, a new offer, a door that suddenly opens, or a moment that makes you pause and say, "How is this even happening?" But it will happen, and it will feel different this time. Clearer, stronger, more aligned, more stable. What returns now is meant to stay because it matches the level you're stepping into. And now another shift is unfolding, one connected to your money, your stability, your comfort, and your future. In the coming days, you may notice repeating numbers showing up more than usual. E-byte Isher E, C-byte Isher C, Ba-byte Ling Ba, even combinations like Ichen C-byte Sisser Su or E-byte Ling E, they aren't coincidences. They show up when your financial energy is rising. They are signals that your vibration is adjusting to a higher level of abundance. These numbers appear before the physical blessing arrives. You see the signs before you see the results. You feel hopeful before the opportunity appears. You sense improvement before the money arrives. E-byte Isher E means a new financial doorway is opening. S-byte Isher Sis means stability is being built around you. Ba-byte Ling Ba means cycles of prosperity are beginning again. Many of you have already seen these numbers on receipts, clocks, totals, messages, and random moments, and each time they appear, they are announcing that abundance is getting closer. What makes this financial shift unique is that the money coming toward you doesn't arrive through the path you're stressing over. It won't come from the situation you're forcing or the plan you keep overthinking. Instead, it shows up through something unexpected, a refund, a correction, a forgotten payment, a bonus, an opportunity that reappears, a debt cleared, a job transition, an approval you weren't expecting, or a moment of luck that feels unreal. This is what I call a miracle deposit, money arriving through the side door, not the obvious path. It's the universe rewarding alignment, not effort alone. And the delay you experienced wasn't because you were blocked. It was because your energy was adjusting. Your financial timeline was being recalibrated so that when abundance arrived, you would be able to hold it without fear or instability. That phase of stagnation is ending, and the shift will be felt before it is seen. Your mind becomes lighter. Your intuition becomes sharper. You feel hope returning. Those are the first signs that wealth is moving toward you. Plangent, every time you see these numbers, acknowledge them. Intention anchors abundance. Recognition activates the timeline. When the signs appear, affirm them by saying, "I am ready." This simple statement opens the doorway. Your financial energy is rising. Your intuition is syncing with a higher path, and money is preparing to enter your life through a route you least expect. And now comes another powerful shift, the release of emotional weight. Soon, you will experience a moment where the heaviness you've been carrying suddenly loosens its grip. It might be quiet, subtle, or unexpected, almost like taking a breath you didn't realize you were holding. At first, you might mistrust the calm, wondering why things suddenly feel lighter. But this is not an illusion. This is the collapse of an old cycle of stress. A long-running storyline of pressure is ending. Thoughts that once overwhelmed you will start slowing down. Worries that used to control your mind will fade. Your body will feel the difference. Your shoulders loosen, your breath deepens, your heartbeat steadies. It's the sensation of your spirit stepping out of survival mode. This calm is not emptiness. It is preparation. This silence is not the absence of movement. It is the space the universe creates right before a major manifestation arrives. When emotional pressure dissolves, the blessing that was being blocked finally has room to enter. This is your reset. This is your breakthrough approaching. This is the moment where everything begins to shift in your favor. When it's usually because something powerful is getting ready to break open in your life. And when that pressure suddenly lets go, when the heaviness falls away for no clear reason, that is the sign that your breakthrough is already forming. This is not the quiet of nothing is happening. This is the quiet of everything moving into place, where you cannot see it yet. After this release, your inner world begins to shift in noticeable ways. You stop replaying situations that used to stress you. People who once drained your spirit no longer hold space in your mind. Conversations that used to upset you lose their grip. Thoughts that once shook you now slide off you like you're shielded from within. The search for clarity stops feeling like a chase. Answers begin showing up without effort. Solutions fall into place naturally, as if they were waiting for you to reach this calm. This is what happens when the soul resets itself. It's an internal cleanse that clears out old energy so you can hold new blessings without fear or resistance. This unfamiliar stillness is not emptiness. It is confirmation that your manifestation is already moving toward you in real time. This is the pause before the shift, the silence before the breakthrough, the breath before the miracle arrives. And when that calm hits you, when your spirit suddenly goes quiet, there is one phrase that seals the moment. The shift is on. Say it again and again, because repetition strengthens intention and intention speeds up manifestation. Your pressure is dissolving. Your timeline is adjusting. Your blessing has already begun its journey. If you're still here, reading or listening, that alone means something. Most people don't reach this point unless something in their spirit pulls them forward. If this message is in front of you, it's because your timing, your direction, and your destiny are syncing with something greater than your current circumstances. You didn't land here by accident. You were guided because the next part only activates for the ones who stay until the end. And here it is. Within the next hours, your name is being placed onto a new timeline. This new timeline is one where life stops resisting you, where opportunities stop hiding from you, where clarity meets you instead of running from you, where blessings stop skipping over you. It is a timeline where you shift from reaching to receiving, from hoping to expecting, from surviving to becoming. You've carried heavy battles quietly. You've endured confusion, disappointment, delays, and emotional exhaustion. You've kept going through situations that drained you far more than you admitted. You survived seasons that you never deserved. But that season ends now. The seventh piece of good news marks the moment where the universe moves you from struggle into restoration. Your energy is lifting. Your chapter is turning. Your destiny is updating to match the life you were meant to live, not the life you had to fight through. But here is the part many people overlook. This new timeline does not activate automatically. It activates through participation. through your belief, your willingness, and your signal back to the universe that you are ready. That signal comes through 7 simple declarations. 7 because it represents completion. 7 because it locks the cycle. 7 because it confirms alignment. You are stepping into a season where what was broken begins to heal, where what was delayed begins to move, and where what felt heavy begins to lift off your shoulders. This moment is where you anchor the shift. Not later, but now. You lock it in through 7 statements spoken or written separately. I am chosen. I accept the 7 good news. I am ready. My breakthrough is near. I claim it. I receive it. It is done. These declarations confirm your readiness. They seal the energy around you. They tell the universe you are no longer waiting. You are aligning. Say them out loud. Write them individually. Feel them as you speak them. Once you do, the new timeline begins to unfold. And now here is the final message. The quiet confirmation meant only for those who reach this point. The universe hasn't. A new phase begins on November 6th, opening a chapter designed specifically for your growth and elevation. Around that time, 7 major shifts activate. A long-blocked opportunity opens. Unseen protection shields you from hidden setbacks. Something or someone you thought was gone returns in a transformed way. Unexpected money finds you through delayed or hidden sources, confirmed by repeating numbers like E-byte Isher E-and, Ba-byte Ling Ba. Emotional pressure lifts and peace signals that your manifestation is close, old cycles close, and your spirit resets. And finally, the 7th good news takes root. Your life is realigning within. Chishar hours, moving you into a timeline of receiving, breakthrough, clarity, and divine timing. November 6th marks your new beginning.